remind you about your tasks. Last week, I have mentioned to you that your tasks start from the last week actually class, and you need to do your notes, whether you are drawing mind map or maybe someone asked me just writing. I think I accept. I can accept the writing notes, but by hand. I do not prefer you are submitting your notes using computer. This is very, I think, something that your effort during class, and once I'm giving the lecture, delivering the lecture, you take the note and you prove to me that you are there. Actually, because if you use maybe apps for the notes, maybe I think someone can cheat me. So I think that that kind of thing happen. Okay, so therefore I ask you use your writing hand, whether you want to write the notes. If you want to you not prefer to use your mind map. Okay, you maybe not so creative, so you think that your notes has been delivered by using writing hand, and I think I can accept that kind of the task. But the important thing is some of you did not submit the task. Once I check here, okay, mana tadi? Okay, once I check, a few of you did not submit the task. The task is important because we don't have final exam. So every single week, I need to make some assessment in terms of assessment. Okay, because we don't have final exam, so the commitment is I into the commitment into the every single week task. So you need to do this kind of task because I will give some marks for that particular assignment. So please, here maybe I think it's not it's not against the rule if I share if I share the name the name of student who did not submit. Okay.
Doctor.
Okay. Yeah. Pardon. Who's that?
I am Helen.
Okay.
Sorry that I was just enrolled into this course. I mean, machine learning just now have this course, but actually last night I have already emailed Doctor
my. Okay, never mind. Okay, I got your mail. Thank you. Okay,
thank you.
Okay. Here, actually, I don't want to your reason. I don't want to hear your reason because you have many reasons. But my point here, you need to submit the task. Meaning that this is your assignment, actually, your individual assignment, and because we don't have any a final exam, so this is what how I am going to assess you. So you need to be understand here. If you don't submit, meaning your mark increasing. You don't have any mark from me. Okay. If you have any problem, such as Lee Choi Wei, she sent to me by email. So this is commitment. Okay. If you don't have facilities in terms of maybe some problem with your e-learning account, whatever. Okay. Think alternatively. Find the alternative way to send your task. Okay, I just share some few of you. Ni yang tak entah. The name who did not send. So you need to concern about this. Okay, I think maybe 10 students. Lebih pada 10 orang ni, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, ya. 10 students did not send the task. Okay, anyway, so after this, you need to be more concerned, because you will gain your mark from here. Okay, and after this, I will give some, for example, quiz. Okay, you need to follow this one, because every single of activities that you have done, there are some mark there. Okay, because we need to accumulate, we need to collect the task, collect the mark from every single of task. Okay, class. So this is what you have to do. Okay, regarding your assessment. Okay, what we have done last week, what the topic about psychology assessment we have discussed last week. If you will remember, can you share some, give some refreshment what we have done last week? Apa yang kita dah belajar minggu lepas?
Origin of psychology.
Okay, Joe.
Origin of psychology.
Okay. So, what your conclusion? What you get? The last topic, the last week topic.
So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's about the mind.
Okay.
So psychology is about the mind. So according to like some of like towards Eastern side, so it's about the heart. But then if we follow the Western side, it's the mind.
Okay, good. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Yeah, there are some different perspective actually. Is different thinking of framework. Different philosophy. Yeah, between modern psychologists and maybe close to Islamic psychology, maybe spiritual psychology, because in Eastern country, Eastern country or civilization, we emphasize on what we call spiritual, as Joe mentioned, the heart, but in modern psychology, they emphasize on the mind and behavior. And this is the two things that they are focusing once they are talking about the psychology. Kind of the difference. Okay. Anyone else? What you get from the last topic? Yeah, Said Abdul Qudus. Yeah.
So what I get is that psychology claim to be one of the scientific studies, because scientists uses experimental techniques to carry out the process to study it. And furthermore, scientists also use animals, because they assume that animals and humans have similarities in behavioral process, a psychological process and mental process. So yeah, that's the thing that I've learned.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Said. Exactly. Well, you have mentioned that, but you need to be careful, because actually we have some different of philosophy in terms of the psychology perspective. So what Said has been mentioned is yes, very clear. This is what modern psychology believe on. Okay, this kind thing of philosophy is very different in terms of Islamic psychology, or mungkin or maybe Buddhist Christian psychology in the perspective of religion. This can very something contradict actually. Therefore, as for example, as a Muslim, or maybe you are Christian, maybe you are Hindu, maybe you are whatever you are, okay, you need to be careful, because what has been discussed in modern psychology is quite maybe some contradiction in terms of the philosophy, because they are believing on empirical side. Empirical side meaning you are using your senses, your eyes, your ear, your nose, and your tongue, and your skin, okay, to prove that something exists. So there are some different because I believe most of you have your own religion. Okay, sometimes it quite contradict with your understanding of your religion side, and this is a modern psychologist side. So you need to be careful, because maybe if you not be careful, you're not concerned about that, it may make you confusing. Why this kind of thing happen? Why the contradiction has been occur? So this is because different philosophy that we are believe on. Okay, the modern psychology, they have own perspective, and religious person, they have own perspective. So not sometimes, I think it's always happen of the contradiction and between these two. And there are many scholars actually have discussed on that particular issue. A contradiction between religion and science. Yes, the same things, religions and psychology, because the psychologists claim themselves as a scientist. So therefore, there are some contradiction between religion and science. Okay, because science developed from the senses, panca indera. In bahasa panca indera, mata, eyes, ear, telinga, nose, smell, okay, taste, tongue. Okay, this is kind of the perspective from modern. Okay, when I refer to the religious perspective, because I mentioned that most of us, you have your own belief on particular issue on specific issue maybe. Okay, so you need to be careful here. Okay, as said, Abdul Qudus says that yes, scientists believe on animal and human have a similarities in terms of mind and mind process and behavior. Therefore, some scientists or maybe psychologists, they use animal in their lab, they are doing the experiment, and then they conclude to the human, they apply to the human. But some contradiction has been occurred there. Okay, this very for me interesting. If you are interested to know further about the issue, how the religion and science contradict, how the religion and philosophy, modern philosophy ataupun Western philosophy are contradict, because this kind of the two things. First, they believe on only the senses. But the religion also accept the knowledge from the scripture, and from the Bible, for example, and for the Muslim, from the Al-Quran. Buddhists, maybe they have their own book, scripture, the holy book. Hindu, they have a own holy book. If you don't be careful, maybe it make you some confusing, jadi macam confused, macam apa confused ni, keliru, confusing. So I want to start our topic, still in the term of understanding the concept, the definition, the concept. What is adjustment psychology? Okay, now I share my slide here. Okay, my slides here. Okay, slide. Okay, this one. Okay, let me adjust some pictures here. Okay, wait. Where is the slide? Okay, we stopped at this slide last week. Now we continue the next. Sorry. Okay, adjustment. We have already talked about the definition of psychology. Okay, adjustment. Adjustment psychology. Okay, now we're talking about this adjustment. What is adjustment in this context? Okay. Okay, adjustment, the behavioral. Okay, before that, I'm proceed the topic. Okay, be careful. You need to take some note, whether you want to writing or drawing. It's up to you. Any form. But towards the end, you need to snap the picture on your notes, or maybe you scan. If you have a scanner, you can scan to be a PDF file and upload on e-learning. Okay. Adjustment. The adjustment in this context, that the behavioral process by which human and others animal maintain an equilibrium among their various needs, or between their needs and the obstacle of their environment. Okay. In short, adjustment that we make some changes. Okay. We make some some changes, a little bit of adaptation. Okay, we try to adapt, and we try to solve actually with the new environment. Okay, so adjustment is a behavioral process, and in this definition, it said that adjustment is a behavioral process. Okay, behavioral process meaning you try to adapt the new environment with your behavior. For example, if you come in front, maybe your superior leader, for example, vice chancellor, and I think everyone can adjust to behave, adjust to behavior, and adjust the behavior. Okay, once you are, for example, you are have a conversation with your friend, you may laughing. Okay, ha, you're laughing. But once someone who you respect, for example, vice chancellor, or maybe your parent, your father or your grandfather, so you try to make a behave. Okay, you behave yourself. So this what we said, that adjustment, a behavioral process. And we try to adjust, we try to change, make some changes towards our behavior. Once we are facing the new environment, the new obstacle. Okay, so adjustment in this context is a behavioral process. We are doing that. Okay, we try to make comfortable. We try to make comfortable. Adjustment. Okay, maybe it's not only obstacle, but we try to achieve our need, our various need, to achieve our needs. Our needs, for example, maybe we need food and drink. This is our physiological needs. Our needs. Our need, for example, according to Abraham Maslow, love. These are our needs. We need to protection. This is our need. If you are looking for the Abraham Maslow theories, and that triangle one, okay, you may realize that we have a basic need at the bottom triangle pyramid. Okay, Maslow said we are as a human being, we need this kind of thing. Everyone, we need food and drink, and shelter and protection. Okay, so in order to fulfill our needs, is some time, or maybe every time we try to fulfill our needs, we need to change. We need to do some adjustment. Okay, for example, you like a girl, okay, and that particular girl dislike the guys who are smoking, for example. Okay, so if you are eager to that girl, you want to be friend with her, okay, maybe you need to behave yourself. Once you are smoking, okay, that particular girl dislike the guys who are smoking, so you go through, you throw in your smoke. Okay, so you make some adjustment, okay, to fulfill various needs of human. Okay, so this is what adjustment talking about. Okay, whether we try to fulfill our needs, maybe someone, maybe our friend needs. Okay, but this is our environment, and to make to fulfill our need, to make ourselves feel comfort. Okay, we need to make some just adjustment. Okay, that's we call adjustment. Okay. 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 Actually, we use the term adjustment several times without clarifying its exact meaning. And the concept of adjustment was originally borrowed from biology, from the biology area. It is more modeled after the biology term adaptation. Adaptation. Penyesuaian. Adaptation. Okay. Which refer to effort by a species to adjust, to change. So the similar word with adjustment may be close to changes. Because in order to fulfill our needs, to fulfill our self or comfort, we need to do some change. Okay, whether for example the guys who are smoking that I mentioned before, okay, need to change the behavior because we try to get the girl. Changes. So we do every time. We do these changes every day. Okay, every day we make changes. Maybe a very little, or maybe the big one. But the changes has been done because we try to fulfill our needs. We try to get to achieve our target. Okay, so this has happened in the species of animal. Some animal we know. For example, the bear. Okay, it have a very we have the hair, very much hair in the body, because to cover the phenomenon and the situation and the cool. Okay, such as for example the eagle, it have a very strong nail, because he can use the nail for hunt the other animal. Okay, if we look at the animal, okay, they have kind of the character, the special characteristic at the animal, on the animal, that that characteristic is suitable for that particular environment, or maybe the nature of the animal itself. Okay, so we call this kind of the characteristic in biology as adaptation. How the animals adapt the environment to survive. To survive. Okay. Before this, I say that why we make some adjustment, because to fulfill our needs. Second, for example, to make us more complacent, more comfortable, more comfortable. And the third one is to survive, actually. To survive. Okay, why we do some changes? To survive. And perhaps to survive in the new environment. For example, the small kid, for example, being bullied by the friend or maybe the peers, okay? And sometimes suddenly, he or she become aggressive boy, for example. Okay, all this while we know him as a very soft, a very polite, and suddenly he become too aggressive. Why? The changes has been done to survive. Okay, so the biology perspective on the adaptation is same goes with the animals. In animals, okay, because some animals to survive, actually, they need to make some changes. Okay, may he or it become a black color because to hide themselves. Okay, there are many animals actually. They have their own unique characteristic because they try to adapt themselves in the environment that they live on, the environment. So this kind of understanding or concept or theories apply to human. We are human, not change our skin once the weather is cool or hot, whatever. But we covered by the jacket, for example. So we do some adjustment. This is what we call in terms of the behavior. Behavior. We can observe that kind of behavior. And same goes with the adjustment in terms of the psychology. Okay, you may feel insecure once you are in the middle of many people. Your surroundings maybe, but for example, your works, your lecturer asks you to study in group. This is your assignment, for example. So by group, whether you happy or unhappy with the kind of the assignment, the task, you need to fulfill. So you need to make some adjustment in your mind. Oh, I have to accept this, because if I don't do this, I may fail, for example, on what? On anyone. So this is what we call adjustment in psychology. We change our thoughts. We change the way our think. Okay, because to make some feeling of complacent, comfortable, or maybe to fulfill our needs, or else to survive in the new environment. Here we have many international students. Okay, they don't have facilities to for example, to get the food that they very like to eat. Here in Malaysia, we have much menu from rice, okay, a little bit from the bread, for example. This is challenge for the student who come from the, for example, Middle East. But then once they are here for actually 6 months, okay, time by time, they try to absorb, they try to adapt the kind of the menus. Okay lah, take the nasi, rice, and we have chicken rice, we have fried rice, and nasi lemak, okay. Everything is nasi, everything is rice, made from rice. Okay, we have several a dessert, kuih, and dessert from the rice, from the wheat, gandum, okay. So how did you do to absorb this kind of the new environment? Okay, if you reflect to yourself also, maybe you come from other state, other country, and you come to UTM in Johor. Okay, for example, you came from Kelantan. You cannot eat the menus from Johor, from Johor here. Okay, you may feel suffer, you may feel pain when you don't get the nasi kerabu, for example. Okay, so how did you do to adjust and to make yourself complacent? So we call this adaptation or adjustment. Okay, for example, just as a field mouse to adapt to an unusually brutal winter, a person has to adjust to change in circumstances such as a new job. You got the new job, you got new friend, you move to new place, okay? Or you may face a financial problem, you lost your loved one, your girlfriend leaving you, your boyfriend leaving you. So this kind of the psychological effect. You may feel unhappy, sad, maybe you crying. Okay? So you need to make some adjustment. How can I live without you anymore? For example, your girlfriend leaving you. So all this while, maybe 4 years, 3 years in UTM, and you have someone love you and you love to him or her, and suddenly he leaving you without any single of notification, single of a message. Okay, so you may take some time to adjust yourself. Okay, so we call this psychology adjustment. Okay, thus adjustment refer to a psychological process through which people manage to cope with the demands and challenges of everyday life, to fulfill your needs, to fulfill others' needs, your parents, your friend needs. Okay, because of you, I change myself. Okay, because of you, because of her, because of him, you change the way you think, for example. Okay, all this while you are not concerned about the smoking, whatever, vaping. Okay, suddenly you got girlfriend or boyfriend, and he asks you to stop smoking, to study hard, for example. If you want to be friend with me, you need to study hard. You need to get 3.0, for example. Okay. So you make some adjustment because what? Because fulfill your needs, love need, caring need, according to Maslow. Okay, love, protection is a human basic need. Okay, else what? beside the food, drink, beside the, for example, shelter. Every human, according to Maslow, need to recognition, need to the appreciation, penghargaan, or recognition, pengiktirafan, recognition. So, to fulfill that kind of needs, we may do some adjustment. Okay, guys? Okay, the last paragraph, adjustment refer to psychological process. This is definition of adjustment psychology. Refer to the psychological process through which people manage. You need to manage, you need to adjust, adapt, and cope with the demand and challenge everyday life. So we call it adjustment. Okay, else. This is also definition of adjustment, according to some scholars. He said that adjustment is defined as a coping with the problem of normal. Okay, so the keyword here, once we are facing the problem and we are facing the challenges, we are facing the needs, human needs, for example, everyday life, so in order to solve this kind of the things, challenge, problem, to fulfill our needs, we said we need to cope and we need to solve. Okay, next, the Latin root of the term adjure, A-D-J-U-R-E, adjure. Okay, the Latin roots of the adjustment, it come from the Latin. Adjure meaning to bring or make right. Adjustment, to bring or make right. Our life is a continuous change, so our adjustment our adjusting or making is right is a constant process, an everyday process, a long process, a keep going process, meaning that we are doing adjustment almost every single time, every single work, every single hour. So it is constant, continuous, yang berterusan, yang sentiasa we are doing every day, every time. Okay? So the individual in the continuous relationship with his or her ever-changing environment, this is a process of seeking balance between internal and external demand. Okay? These notes use demand, okay? But I mentioned before the needs, the similarities here. Okay, internal and external demand. And internal, yourself, your demanding, your needs, what you want to do, what you want to get, your internal demand. Okay, I want to get first class. This is your internal demand. Or external demand, your parent asks you to get first class, external demand. Okay, so in order to balance, process of seeking balance between internal and external demand, okay, we make some adjustment. Okay, and this process are continuous. Between the needs for continuity, for adaptability to the new. So since we are using many kind of word to explain the definition. For example, we are using changes, you are using adaptation, and now adaptability. Adaptability. Adaptability meaning adaptation. You are able to adapt. Adaptability. Adaptability. To the new. And between the self and others, and yourself and others, and maybe your parent, your friend, your lecturer, and what else? Okay, so try in order to meet and to fulfill the kind of demand and the needs. Okay, we need to make some adjustment. Okay, the successful balance lead to success in adjustment. A successful balance need. Now we are talking about the balance. Okay, between internal and external, between yourself and your parent, between yourself and your friend, for example. Okay, your parent, your friend have their own assumption on you, and they have their own wish to you, and also you have your own. Okay, how to make this balance? Some students maybe, or some people, they are trying to fulfill others' need, parent needs, but he or she sacrifice his or her internal needs. I don't want to I don't want to take this course, for example. I don't want to become an engineer, for example. Example kan. I want to be artist, art, painting, playing music instrument. But my parents asked me, forced me. So if you don't have ability to make this kind of internal and external demand balance, you may suffer with your self or your surrounding. You may suffer. Maybe this kind of situation lead to the stress, lead to the unsatisfaction of life, feeling burdened, upset, unhappy. Okay, so we can ask ourselves actually, or maybe we want to help others people. Okay, the demanding between internal and external need to be balanced in order to make us happy or feeling good. Okay. If the failure of balancing this kind of two demand, internal and external, may lead to the stress and depress, and in extreme case, it may lead to the mental health problem, mental health issues, because you cannot fulfill your internal, and you need to force yourself to fulfill others' demand, external demand. So this this point emphasize on the successful balancing lead to the success in adjustment. You will finding meaning and purpose in your life. What you want to do, what you want to achieve actually. Ask yourself whether you are doing because you are happy with your task, with your job, with your what you have done, or you may to fulfill others' wishes from others. So this point, he said that successful balancing lead to success adjustment, and you will find meaning and purpose in your life. You know, you determine, you know, you want what you want to do, what you want to get, what is your path, what is your direction. You will find meaning and purpose. Learning is necessary skill. Even though this is new to you, but yes, this is what you have to do. Learning the necessary skill, and being open to the benefit, compassion, and emotion. See, towards the end, we need to balance this internal and external, because it's related with our emotion. What is emotion? Your feeling. Whether you are happy, you are unhappy, sad, laugh, upset, okay, or maybe determined, and okay. So in this world, we are looking for the good life, right? Happy, the happiness. So some people feel unhappy because some of people, they don't know what they are trying to do, they are trying to achieve actually. Is it from me or from others? You need to ask yourself, okay, whether you are doing this in UTM because of your choice and you are happy with your choice. Okay, because some people feeling suffer because they are trying to fulfill other choice, others wishes, and they to try to fulfill. So they don't have soul to doing that particular task and that particular job, because they don't want. They are not happy with. Okay, guys, you will know more about yourself and about others by end of this book, and I hope. Okay, so at this point, balance. The keyword is balance between internal and external needs, internal and external demand. Okay, maybe someone have a very eager internally themselves. I want this, I want this, I want this. Okay, I want to be this, I want to be. Okay, the barriers of internal, but in reality, it could be impossible to be achieved. The external sources not help this kind of person and to expose, to achieve, to fulfill his internal needs. Okay, he may have various of needs, but the external, for example, student, okay, I want to be study, okay, whether MCO, lockdown, whatever, I want to study. But the external demand, the external need, the internet slow, don't have comfortable situation for study, and maybe many sibling in the house. Okay, maybe don't have particular space for study. Okay, external. Okay, internally, I have it. I'm eager. I'm patient to study. I love to study. Okay, therefore, this point emphasize on balance. Balance. If you are eager to study, for example, but your facilities, your external facilities, external demand, cannot fulfill your internal, you may be suffer also. You may be suffer. So you need to adjust. I'm patient to study. I have a motivation. I'm in high motivation to study. But the facilities not allowed me. And so how you adjust yourself? If you focus on, I have motivation to study, I have motivation, but the facilities is not there, and you will suffer also. Even though the motivation is positive side, you have a good motivation, you have a positive motivation, and sometimes this good motivation also make you suffer. Okay, so the keyword is balance. Okay, balance, and you need to balance yourself. Check your balance. Check yourself. Okay, this is balance. Okay, I have a good motivation, but externally the facility is not much good to me to further study whatever. And so okay. Try to accept, try to adjust, try to adapt. This is what psychology adaptation. Yes. Okay. Okay, guys. Any idea? Any issue? Any someone to say something, please? If you have any, you may leave your message on chat room. Okay. I forgot to record. Okay, now I'll start from now. I record the lecture because I understand. Some people, some students, they don't have a good internet, and so they will download the video maybe later and understand. Okay, I'm just recording the lecture. Okay. Okay. Anyone to say something about the topic that we discuss? Ada tak? Ada sesiapa nak cakap? Anyone to say something? Okay. Please interact with me. I'm alone here. Okay. I'm alone here. What is meaning about logos? Logos is study. Study, doing research and study. Logos. What the meaning of logos? Study. The study of psychology. Psychology is the study of psychology. Technology. The study of techno. What else? Logy. Sociology, the study of the community, the humanistic. Okay. Okay. Anyone to say something about the topic? Maybe you have an idea. Okay. Okay. Someone asked me about the Shafin Rahman. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Not new. Something. Okay. Nur Farhana. If I don't do the task in paper but in Word, do I need to gain the paper? Okay, for the last lecture, okay, you just submit whatever you have done. Hantar je lah apa yang awak ada tu. Okay, but start from this week, okay, please do the task, whether writing or painting, drawing, not painting and drawing. By handwriting, by paper, okay, on piece of paper, one piece of paper only, okay. I don't want to more than one paper, just one, okay. Okay, guys, you have any idea for what I have discussed about the psychology adjustment? Tak ada alamak awak, tak ada lah Okay, QR code we will share after this before end of the class. Okay, so this is process. Okay, the next slide, I will talk about the process process of adjustment. Okay, there are some step or stage of adjustment. Okay, actually we are doing adjustment every day, and we may not realize that kind of the process, okay, the kind of process. But I think it is important to us to know the process, because once we are knowing the particular process, we can follow it systematically. I think all this while we are doing the adjustment. All this while, I think every day we do some adjustment. But after this, once we are knowing the process, we may realize the step and the stages of the process. Okay, let's I proceed to the topic. Okay, actually there are four very simple, very simple, quick process. For example, motive. For example, we start from the motive. What the motive? Motive mean your objective. Your objective maybe, or may your needs. Yeah, motive. What your intention? Yes, your intention, niat, and motive, and your intention in your heart. Okay, your motive, motivation. Your motivation. Why you do that particular behavior? Your motive. For example, someone stealing, bread, roti, bread, stealing bread. Why? Because maybe he or she hungry. So hungry is needs. Motive, hungry, to fulfill the needs, to fulfill the internal needs, motive. Okay, so motive, we talk about motive, objective, our goal, our motive, or our intention maybe, niat, our intention, niat, innama a'malu binniyat. Our intention, why we do this, why you are moving, why you are to be UTM, what is your motive, what is your goal, and your motive mean your niat, your intention, your needs, your objective. Okay, so if the needs of or your motive not fulfill, try to fulfill. Okay, the motive that not fulfill, you try to fulfill that motive or intention. Okay, for example, hungry, so this is your need. Okay, so you try to fulfill your needs. You have a motive that not fulfilled yet. You need to fulfill that motive. And varied activities, meaning the way you solve and how to solve that the process, and how to solve how you try to find a way. You have to find a way, maybe one or two activities, meaning by doing the activities, you may fulfill your motive. Stealing, this is activities. Looking for a job, this is activities. Why? Because I want to fulfill my needs. Okay, so you have choice in the varied of activities stages, on the 3 stages. Okay, various activity meaning you try to find a way, you to cope and you to solve, and you try to solve the problem, and you to cope the challenge. Okay, how I can get the bread, and maybe someone steal, maybe ask from friend, I'm hungry, do you have any food for me? Okay, so various of activities can be done in order to fulfill your motive and fulfill your needs. Okay, sorry, I'm charging my laptop. Okay, sorry guys. So let me continue, sir. So, and then followed by the response. And response meaning your actual behavior. Your actual behavior. Varied activities may in the idea. Varied activity may in idea. It's not done yet. But how did you respond? If you get the idea in the stage of varied activities, then your response, okay, how to solve, based on your idea, varied activities. So the response stage, okay, for example, in varied activities you have for example 2 ideas, okay, you are hungry and you need to fulfill your needs and to food, to eat, okay, then you have idea, okay, whether you steal from your friend maybe, or you ask your friend, ask help from your friend, okay. So the response is depend on your how the idea you get, it's depend on many factors. You may think about your ethic, okay? You may think about your responsibilities. You may think about the environment, what people will say on you. Okay, so various activities is just in mind state, mind stage. Okay, not real. And your response is your behavior. Okay, you are doing that because to fulfill the based on your idea on various activity stages. Okay, so it's very quick process adjustment. Okay, in order to understand your behavior or others' behavior, we may understand the motive first. Why she does, why do happen? Why this kind of people commit in crime, for example? Okay, why did he steal? Why did she crying? So try to understand the motive and the various of need. Maybe feeling upset, whatever. But the response and the behavior. Response is behavior. Tingkah respond to behavior. Okay. So by understand this process, we may understand the adjustment. How doing the adjustment. Okay. Okay, guys. Any idea on that? If you have any idea or want to say something, please.
Sir, tanya Jojo. I don't understand the non-fulfillment. Can you describe it again?
About
non-fulfillment.
Non-fulfillment.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, non-fulfillment is something that the needs, the demand that you need to fulfill, but you are unable to fulfill. Still vacant, for example. Okay, you have, for example, motive. Motive meaning you have intention, you have fulfill the needs, but the needs not fulfilled yet. Non-fulfillment. So in the stage of fulfillment, meaning that in order to fulfill your motive, so you are in the second stage. Okay, everyone, for example, needs needs for love, for example, love, cinta, kan? Okay. In order to fulfill your needs, you may in the stage of the non-fulfillment. Okay, non-fulfillment means hasrat yang belum sampai, ataupun you need to achieve that kind of the motive. The motive non-fulfillment. Motive is something that derives you to motivate you to do something. Okay? In the stage of non-fulfillment, okay, the adjustment does not happen. Okay? The adjustment does not happen if your motive has been fulfilled. It happened only once you are not fulfill the motive. Okay, Joe? Can you understand me? Okay. Yeah, I repeat. Okay, I repeat. The adjustment only can be happen if your motive does not fulfill. Does not fulfill. Non-fulfillment. Non-fulfillment motive. Meaning, adjustment is a non-fulfillment motive. To fulfill and to achieve the non-fulfillment motive. So we are doing adjustment. Maknanya apa? Hasrat ataupun intention, wish, harapan yang belum tercapai. So we are doing the adjustment because to fulfill the motive. To fulfill the motive. To fulfill the needs. Okay, only Steven, could you explain where the activities mean your idea? Where is activity meaning idea? And you are looking for various idea and various way to fulfill. Memikirkan cara-cara nak mencari jalan. You think how can you the way you fulfill that motive. Cara ataupun varied activities ni, we are thinking about the ways and the method, maybe the activities, the tasks that we can do in order to fulfill the motive. Okay guys, I think it's very clear. Motive, intention, your intention. Fulfillment, non-fulfillment, you are try to fulfill the motive. Okay, and then you are getting the ideas. Okay, banyak idea, various activities. You may have option A, B, C, D, E, or you have 1, 2 option, various activities, and then respond. You are doing, you are behave on that particular activities that you choose at the various activity stage. Respond tu maksudnya tingkah laku yang awak buat, your behavior that you have done, because based on what you have decided on various activities stage. Di peringkat yang various activity tu awak get some idea kan, dapat 1, 2, 3 idea lah. Okay, so this is adjustment process. Adjustment process. Okay, so we move to this slide. We have social adjustment versus physiological adjustment, and maybe some kind of differences. Okay, we have psychological adjustment. We have psychological adjustment. Now we have social adjustment and 3 physiological adjustment. Okay, once we are talking about psychological adjustment, meaning we are adjust our mind setting, our paradigm, the way we think, our thoughts, and our behavior. That's psychological adjustment. And remember, what is definition of psychology? Mind and behavior and feeling. Okay? Mind, behavior, and feeling. Mind, behavior, feeling. This is psychology. So we are adjust our mind setting, the way we think, our thoughts, our philosophy. Okay, your motto, Not motorcycle, motor. Kerana Tuhan untuk manusia. Bersekutu bertambah mutu, for example lah, motor. The way you think, your philosophy. For example, you believe that A is getting A in academic. It is indicator for the success. This is your thinking, your thoughts. Okay, your thought, your psychological effect, your psychological side. Okay, this is the way you think. Okay, when we are talking about psychology, we are talking about mind. Mind meaning your thinking, the way you think, your thoughts. Okay, and also your feeling, your emotion, and your behavior. Okay, that's very clear about the psychological adjustment. We are adjust our thinking, our mind setting. What is our mind setting? Oh, I have to I have to study hard. It's your mind setting. Oh, never mind. As long as God B is enough. This mind setting. This is your thought, the way you're thinking. Okay, you are setting your mind. Actually, we are setting our own mind. Okay, it's about us. Okay, nobody can change our mind except ourselves. Okay, this is what we call psychology: mind, feeling, and behavior. Ingat, remember this thing. These three things, very basic. Okay, to understand what is psychology, what psychology is all about. Okay, now we are talking about social and culture. Okay, read the notes. Social and cultural adjustment are similar to physiological adjustment. People strive to be comfortable, okay, complacent, comfortable, feeling complacent and comfortable in their surrounding, to have their psychological needs such as love or affirmation meet through the social network they inhabit. Okay, when we are talking about the psychology, three things: mind, feeling, and behavior. Okay, we adjust, we adapt, we change. Okay, adjust, adaptation, adjustment, adaptation, and changing. Okay, this is similar, right? Similar. Okay, if you hard to understand adjustment, okay, change to the adaptation or changes, perubahan, berlaku perubahan, mengubah pemikiran, change your mind, and change your mind setting. Okay, when we talk about social is meaning the way we communicate, not only conversation. Communicate meaning maybe in body language. Aku marah, tumbuk kau kan. Body language, your eyes contact. I'm straying you. Eyes contact. Therefore, I'm happy if you open your video. I can eyes contact with you. Social meaning the way we communicate. And communicate is not only conversation, talking, but the way we smiling, the way we express our face. And this is communication. Okay, social meaning we are communicate with others. Okay, in order to fulfill our needs, sometimes we need also adjust the way we communicate, the way we socialize with others. For example, you may have a personality, introvert personality. Okay, if you're interested on what the introvert, you may find others. But in introvert person, she or he does not like to socialize. He or she happy if he or she live in very small community, 2-3 people. Okay, he does not like gathering. Many people surrounding. Oh, make me mess. This is related with the personality type of people. Yeah. Okay. You may ask yourself, why I'm not happy if I'm in the middle of surrounding people? Sometimes I feel pain, feeling dizzy, right? You may ask yourself about this. Actually, there are type of personality. Introvert and extrovert. Introvert, extrovert. Beside that, contradict with the introvert person who is extrovert, very happy with gathering. Oh, happy. Go to clubbing. You will go clubbing lah. Ataupun doing a gather with the family. Oh, doing a barbecue. Makan-makan. Enjoy food together with large group of people. Happy. And this kind of person very unhappy, sad if there are no people around him. A little bit of people. 3 orang je datang, nak buat apa 3 orang? Macam lah. 3 orang je datang, and it's not happy. Okay, this is related with the personality type tau. Your personality, our personality types. Okay, actually there are many types of personality according to the scholars. Okay, what I mentioned before this is about the very simple idea about the personality type. Introvert and extrovert. Okay, I want to say that introvert person, for example, you, you may have a type of personality, introvert personality. Okay, and you're not happy with the socialize with a large of group, but you may have no choice to avoid that kind of the particular event. For example, your sister wedding, your brother wedding. Okay, you have to join that gathering event, right? You don't have choice. So slowly, you make some adjustment in your mental and your psychological. You say, okay, I can. Okay, this is only a little bit of time, maybe 1 hour or 2 hours. Okay, so you make some adjustment in terms of the psychology. Okay, but then you socialize with the people. Maybe you pretend to be happy with them, pretend to be berpura-pura. Okay, but you are doing social adjustment. You are doing social adjustment. Culture adjustment, for example, Syed Qutb lah. Syed, suddenly he fall in love to the Chinese girl, for example. So he have to doing some adjustment in terms of social. How to Syed Abdul Qudus, for example, you are suddenly fall in love with a Chinese girl. Okay, of course you need to make some adjustment in terms of psychology and sociology, social adjustment. You may learn a few words, Chinese word, ni hao ma. Ni hao ma, saya tu je satu. This only word I know is ni hao ma. Okay, ni hao ma, wa ai ni, And itu je lah, a few words I know from the Chinese student. Yeah. Okay, so because you are Arab, from the Middle East, you have your own culture, and this Chinese girl family, she have their own socialized culture. So we do some adjustment in order to survive or fulfill our needs to cope the new environment. Social. Okay, the way we communicate, the way we socialize, the way we join others, social. Okay, and same goes with physiological adjustment. Physiological meaning our body, our body. Okay, if we in a lift, escalator, a very small compartment. Okay, we need to make our body small our body. Okay, physiological. Or maybe, for example, for the Muslim, once we are fasting in Ramadan, actually we are doing physiological adjustment. Physiological meaning that in out of the Ramadan, we may take a meal 3 times in a day, for example. But when we are fasting, we cannot take some food and drink, right? Okay, so we make adjustment in terms of physiological. So every time, maybe not every day, but I think we are doing psychology adjustment, social adjustment, and physiological adjustment. And for example, now currently you have a class, even though in online, but you are a very loyal student and you don't go anywhere. You stay in front of your laptop and you don't take any food. But you feel hungry. You make some adjustment. Oh, be careful. Be patient. My tummy. Be patient. It's not right time to eat right now. Okay, after this, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, I will fulfill you. Okay, physiological adjustment. Physio means our body, our system, our body system also. It's not only body, physical body, outside physical body, but our body system. Our body system. For example, as I think you heard about the clock body, time clock body. This is related with the physiological. You may wake up every same time in early morning, for example. For example, automatically at 6 o'clock in the morning, you will wake up. Nobody wake up you. Even your handphone is silent and no alarm. But if you are regular, every day, you make it a habit. Actually, we have our body clock time. Okay, feeling hungry is about your body clock time. Okay, for example, every day at 12:30, for example, you may take your lunch every time, not miss a day even. So after that, maybe within 1 week, maybe 1 month, at 20:30, you will feel hungry. This is a body clock time. It depends on our habit every day. So we need doing some adjustment in terms of physiological. Okay, now we already talked about psychological adjustment, social adjustment, and physiological adjustment. What else? Ada lagi tak? Okay, before we end our class, I want to share a little bit of point. Okay, just let Joe, the only person who open video. Okay, Joe, thank you. Okay, guys. Okay. I think last week I have mentioned about the scientific approach, scientific, because the psychologists, the person involved in psychology, we call psychologists, and scientists and psychologists, they claim psychology is scientific because they are doing conclusion based on the experimental. So they are doing conclusion. They are conclude the theories, whatever theories, by doing the scientific method. Okay, according to this book, what I'm referring to, okay, actually, why we says that psychology is scientist, because the psychologists, they are doing the conclusion based on the scientific approach. Okay, one of the scientific approach is commitment to empiricism. Empiricism. Empiricism meaning the knowledge, the finding should be acquired through the observation. Okay, it just add some new point. Last week we talked about the approach, scientific approach. That's the that the psychologists using to conclude their finding. Okay, because psychologists always claim the psychology is scientific. Okay, why? Because they are using the scientific approach to conclude their finding. And one of the method is they are using the empirical, and we call empiricalism. Empirical. This is one philosophy in Western country, in Western civilization. Empiric. Okay. Empiricalism meaning we are doing conclusion based on our observation. Okay. Observation. What is observation? Observation is first, one, we are looking at, and we are using our eyes. We are looking at some behavior, some people, and we are observing. Okay, and others, we also observe by our ears, our nose. Okay, what we hear, or the cow sound. Okay, oh, this is cow. Bird, chip, 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 chip. Okay, observe. We doing observe is not only using eyes, but ears. Hear the sound, observe. Or smell, or taste, or touch. These kind of things, we call it the senses. Pancha Indra. Senses. Meaning, one of the scientific approach used by psychologists is empirical. What is empirical? We are using our senses to gain the knowledge, to gain the finding, to gain the data. Observation is not only observed by eyes, but it also meaning observed by ear, sound, or smell, our nose, or taste, our tongue. observe. Oh, this is good drink. Oh, this is very sweetie, and observe. Okay, so this happen in psychology. We are doing observation towards the human. We are looking at them, and we are looking whatever they are doing, the behavior. Maybe we are here, the way we talk, the way he or she converse with us, talking to us. Okay, we can realize if someone angry to us, and the sound very loud. Oh, okay, we know. Okay, these people are angry on me. I'm going mad at me. Okay, so we call this empirical. Empirical. We say the scientific psychology is empirical, meaning that the conclusion are based on systematic observation, rather than reasoning, speculating, and traditional belief or common sense. Okay, meaning empirically, we are using our senses to gain knowledge, to gain finding, to gain data. Okay, and we are reporting based on what we gain from the particular senses. Okay, we sometimes, or we always, not sometimes, we always, as a psychologist, reject speculating, hearsay, traditional belief, okay, such as religion. Some people, some psychologists says that the traditional belief not proven. Okay, or common sense. Common sense is not enough to make some of the concepts, to make the conclusion. So we are doing empirical. We are doing observation. Okay, so this more add point from the last week topic, empirical. So that make us different in terms of modern psychologists and a religion perspective, or culture perspective. As some culture have their own belief, right? Okay, sometimes we say it's not logic. Logic is some aspect, but as a good student, we need to make some adjustment, even though this kind of the belief illogical, not logic, but the culture accepted and the social accepted. And this is challenge. You may graduate from UTM, we have a kind of the logical thinking. Oh, I'm graduate from UTM. I'm engineers. I am a computer expert. Okay, I'm doing job based on the logic. But once you are going to the real life of human, you are going to your family, your community, some logical, illogical, unlogic. Okay, you need to believe, and then the psychological adjustment, psychological, social adjustment, physiological. You need to use this kind of the knowledge that you got from this class. Okay, meaning that sometimes we are against on belief our family, our community, but we keep to silent because we are doing the best in terms of adjustment, okay, to make us happy, to make us family happy, and especially you are the young people. You may cross marriage such as Syed Abdul Qudus, and fall in love Chinese girl, Indian girls. You may silent because you want to fight with your family. Okay, this is what we call adjustment. Okay, guys. Okay, it's enough today. Don't forget to make notes. Okay, and please form a group. Form a group. But we have 20, I think 25, 24, 23, and we form 5 or 6 group. So every group consists how many people? Let's say we have 24, 25. If we divide to 6 group, or 5 group, I think, a 6 group or 5 group, I think it's 24. Let's say we have 24. I forgot the exact numbers. 23 or 24. Okay, I think okay. Let's say for 24, divide to 6 group, consists 4 or 5. Okay, 4 or 5 student only. And you need to form a group that consists 4 to 5 student only, and not more than 5. Okay, may less, not less than 4, not more than 5. Between 4 and 5. Okay. Okay, Joe, you have any question? Okay, Shahir, this is a good question. Do you consider yourself as a psychologist, doctor? No. No, even though I'm teaching psychology, but I'm not a psychologist. Because, I think, because of most of psychologists claim themselves as scientific, and then they do believe on empirical set only. So this make contradict with my belief as a Muslim, of course. Okay, some ideas, some theories against the religion side. Okay, so I don't claim myself as psychologist. Okay, maybe just a lecture or lecturing the psychology. Okay, guys, thank you. Inshallah, we will meet next week, inshallah. Okay, anything you want to ask, you can use our Telegram. Okay, so we can communicate. Okay, thank you so much because you are loyal until today, until 12:50. It's good for you lah. Thank you. Okay, guys, thank you. Say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and see you again. Assalamualaikum.